Hi, welcome back to Gaming for Gamers. So, today's video, getting straight to the point, is something that's come up regularly in gaming recently, but it's come up more probably because of Dragon Age The Veilguard than anything else, probably because that's probably the most high profile game it's happened in, which is the message. And if you know anything about Dragon Age The Veilguard, or you've seen any of the clips or seen any of the reviews, you'll know that there's quite a push in that for woke messages, really blatantly. It's not these little conversations where they discuss it, so it's not subtle, and obviously it's got a lot of criticism, partially because of the way the game is, because it's a poorly made game and it's not very good, partly because of the woke content, the way the characters are done, the changes from the way the original Dragon Age games were, how they've changed the animations and the graphics, how they've changed the way the characters are. Everything about it is wrong, but we're just going to talk about the message for the moment, and not particularly the woke message, because one, and there's a couple of points to this, it's obviously very grating and very annoying if you make a game and you're trying to make a message in the game that's very badly integrated into the game, where they've literally just had little conversations and they're making a push to make characters obviously wokey, or they're trying to make a push to have a little bit of dialogue to justify it, but it doesn't fit with the game. And that in itself is just ridiculous. You can make characters in games where they're different, or there's a discussion to be had about something, if it's done well and it's appropriate for the game. I don't mean age appropriate, I mean appropriate for the kind of game. So, for example, in a game set in a modern situation, or it might be appropriate to talk about certain things in a game set in a historical situation in ancient Egypt, then it wouldn't be. So that kind of thing. For example, let me think of one. Okay, so there's a game which you may know called Outer Worlds, which is a really good game, and one of the characters in that, Pavati, she's a lesbian character, and you don't notice that she's a lesbian character. I mean, you do, because you're the captain. If you don't know the game, you're the captain and she's one of your crew, and you find out she wants to kind of get involved with one of the people you meet who's a woman, and you kind of have to help her out actually to get a date. It's quite funny, quite sweet. And that is kind of how you can do that kind of discussion really well, because for a start you don't have to have her as a character. You can decide not to bring her on your ship and get rid of her, so there's no forced character on you. And secondly, it's really, really well done. I didn't actually even think about it in the game until other things came up, like this Dragon Age Veilguard thing. So I didn't even consider it until I thought about that, and yeah, okay, that's true, she's a lesbian, but you don't actually think about that. That's not who she is. She's an engineer, and she's funny, and she's inquisitive, and she's kind, and all the other things about her, and it's just that she's a lesbian, which is what everybody is. Nobody is a lesbian or a straight guy or whatever it might be. You have other characteristics, and if you put all the characters together, characteristics of a person, it's an interesting character. But just having a character that's gay or disabled in some way, or black, or a woman, or a lesbian, is just boring for a start. But then there's another point going further than the woke message, which is annoying and grating, and people are fed up with it, and we all know that. It's also very, very dangerous, and I think it's something that everyone should be aware of, especially people with kids, because the message can be any message. If game developers and publishers don't think anything of pushing a message that they might agree with, like the woke message and the diversity message and these messages, what's to say that a different publisher or developer wouldn't want to push a terrorist message or a religious message which other people wouldn't agree with? And there's a very fine line between what might be an acceptable message. What's the difference between a woke message pushing that diversity and all the woke ideals, than a religious message pushing that either a particular religion or that God is great, if you don't like God then there's something wrong with you? So it's a very dangerous kind of precedent to set, that just in general messages are okay in games, unsubtle messages that push things in major games, in AAA games, without any disguise or subtlety, and it's fine, because if it isn't woke, it could be something else. And, you know, people's kids, people's teenagers play these games, and, you know, some teenagers will be, obviously have been and will be, very influenced by woke messages, but they could be influenced by another message which is even more dangerous. So it's a very dangerous precedent to be games. The woke message is very badly done and annoying, and actually that's probably kind of helped, because if all these companies had been a bit more subtle, it wouldn't have been as bad, and they'd have got their message across a bit better. But because they've been so blatant and lazy in how they've done it, it's not gone down well. But just think about that if that was a religious message or a political message. So, and of course that does happen in games, but if it does, it's very subtle. So it's something to be aware of. It's something I think you don't want in gaming. Like I said, you can have discussions in games about characters that you'd find in the world, like Parvati from Outer Worlds, that are different, but you can't push messages any more than you can push messages in the media, in normal entertainment. You can have discussions in media, in a drama, in a sci-fi, in a thriller, whatever, about a character, but the character has to be part of the plot, not someone's thrown in there to make a point, which is what these are. Anyway, thanks for watching Gaming for Gamers. Till next time, take care for now.